Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. Be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Dragon Swarm!
Here goes!
Rising Light!
Reload!
Dragon Swarm! Take the
You go with airborne targets.
Take this! You got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
It's over! All yours! Dragon Swarm! Here I come! You're finished! You're mine! Dragon
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that is
Rising
true.
Sleep now.
Here I come!
Well, someone seems in tip-top form.
Nothing new about that.
And still as humble as ever. You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no? These little ones are.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. right.
There's nowhere to run from my art. When he slows down, that's our chance.
It's like
No
trying to keep
further.
up with a wolf! Lunar corruption!
Rising
Freeze
Viper!
Lancer!
Take it!
Prepare to be sealed!
In here!
Rising Falcon!
I'll be saving
Eagle Assault!
Take this! I'll finish you here and
Lunar
now!
corruption! Tempest Jedi!
You require a hand.
Rising Viper! Mirage!
By the power of
Oh,
God!
not gun!
This
Ice
wall!
Sword!
Lightning! Celestial
Dragon
order!
Swarm!
Iron Blast! Radiant from here!
No escape!
Radiant!
Rising Falcon! Here I come!
Take this!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Level 5! Do it! Talon Storm!
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine this sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
What's this thing?
Out of our way!
You're mine! Take this! Rising Wyvern! Damn it!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Here I come!
I'll finish you
Rising
here now!
Wyvern! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Prepare to be sealed!
Leave the enemy's arc to me.
I'm on it! No complaints here!
It's on!
Rip and tear!
Here I come!
I'm on a roll now!
Burn in hell!
You see what happened there as you crossed me? Shouldn't have done that.
Now, get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Already on!
Don't mind if I do.
Do it!
Don't leave! Hey! Blow them away!
Raging cascade. How's this?
First strike! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
No choice! Here I come! Rising Wyvern! You're mine!
Dance in the wind.
Take this! I'm not done!
Airborne field. My specialty.
Hurricane! You're mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Do it!
In the wind.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
As soon as I'm done here, I'll come help out.
How could a girl ever say no? I'm ready for the next battle. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
Out of our way!
Dance in the wind!
Dragon's Claw!
Confiscated!
Scarta! Take this!
You hear it now!
Lightning orb!
It's over!
Banana, let's
You're
go!
out!
Searing flame!
Blind freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Watch this!
Hey,
Rising
now!
Wyvern! An astral art?
That's my
Take you
cue!
all on! Shut him down.
The tide of battle has turned.
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Right. Comrades in arms.
What? Too sentimental?
Dragon Form! Rising Wyvern!
Eagle fly!
Damn, you beat me to it.
Gotta be quick.
Oh, like hell you will.
Well, someone seems in tip-top form.
Wow! Look what I just found.
Lost!
You're mine! Dragon Form!
Raging
You're
Storm!
finished!
Gemini Aqua!
You're mine! Dragon Form! This one's all mine!
Talon Hurricane!
Ignite!
Annihilation!
Dragon Form!
My fists are crushing it out there.
Get lost!
Here I come! Rising
Where are
Wyvern!
you going?
That freaking does
Raging
it!
Storm!
Here I come!
Dust to dust!
Dragon Form!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Rising Wyvern!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday. Get lost!
You're mine!
In a bind? They got me flanked!
Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon!
Prepare to be sealed. These fists have got your name on them!
Is more appropriate.
Less talking and more doing.
Ignite!
Thank you.
Here I come!
This one's mine.
Dragon Form! Rising Wyvern! I'm not done! Stardust!
Kisara, I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Back into the fray.
Here I come!
It's go time!
Take this!
Now you see what I can do!
Do it!
Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down.
Looks like some solid equipment. More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Little help!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Sealed!
Rising Wyvern!
Nightwatch! Lunar corruption!
Rip and tear!
Light astrology!
You're mine!
one!
Already on!
This one's all mine!
I'm on a roll, man!
Rising Wyvern! Stardust!
Who wants to die next?
You're finished!
Lightning
I'm on
Orb!
it.
By the
Stardust!
Hurricane!
Do it!
You're finished!
Thunderblade!
I'm on it! The enemy wields art.
We'll soon see about that!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
Hi, Hoodle!
No escape!
Radiant Warrior! Primed and ready!
Demon Fang!
Radiant!
Dragon
I
Sword!
never miss! Here!
Roll now!
Strike!
More for the stock pile!
Rising one! You got fire!
I've got this! Let it marksman handle it! Coming through!
Take this! All yours!
Eat this! This one's mine! Sweet now!
Dragon Sword!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
It's over!
Dragon Sword! I didn't carve through armor! You shouldn't have messed with me!
Freeze Lancer!
You're mine!
Swallow death!
Dragon Sword!
The heavens must be smiling.
It's on! Hey, when did I get so popular?
Don't mind if I do! Here goes!
Rip your hair!
Lightning condemned!
Ignite!
Thunderblade! One more time!
Flying free! Get me just still!
See that
See ya.
you don't
Will you take care of them?
No sooner set astral energy! Full throttle!
Eat this!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern!
More where that came from! We're in the home stretch, guys!
What she said? Eyes on the prize!
That focus goes double for you, Law!
Me? How come I get singled out? Now you see what I can. That's quite a talent.
Your father once made the same remark.
So even like that,
Rising Wyvern! Strike! Take this!
Eat this!
Dragon Swarm!
You are in tip-top shape.
Since I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no? These little ones are hardly worth our time. Astral energy!
Say no more! Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along, but it got me thinking. What am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
I am so glad I put Rinwell in sunglasses because she is just throwing so much shade.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
No, I'm not ready.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
He's after me. Alright.
Dragon form! Not today!
Enemies immobilized.
Freely!
Take it down.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Raging sword. I never miss.
Here I
Shattering
go!
the
Raging
pieces!
cascade.
Attack time!
Here.
You're mine! Rising up!
That freaking does it!
Take
I'll
it.
let you all down.
I'll bring you down.
Are we supposed to die?
I'll bring you back.
You'll pay for that! Take it!
I'll bring you back from
Take
death's
this!
abyss.
Rising Wyvern!
Take
I'll
this!
bring you back from death's abyss.
Sorry, Shion. Let me see if I can help her out.
I still got the fight. Glacial
Take
spear.
this!
Pierce evil.
It's over!
Enjoy. Sealed.
Here.
Let's get you off. Gemini
Can't get out of this!
Mega ray.
Take this!
Annihilate.
Dragon!
Don't hurt Hoodle, please. Oh, come on.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you?
Why?
Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
They're like angsty teens. We're going the right way, obviously. So I wanted to go back to that mountain trail we were just on. Yes, back to the ridge. We'll skip these fights for right now if we can.
What's that big tower over there?
You guys want to rest here?
I can finally take a breather.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
See you tomorrow. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is. Guess I misread the landing. Not this way, I guess. Not this way, I guess. What's this thing?
Ow! You're mine! Take this! Dragon Form!
I'll finish you
You're
here and
finished!
now!
It's time! Demon Peg! Ignite! You're mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Dragon Form!
Let them mark
Pierce through!
Swallow dare! I'm just getting
You're
started!
finished!
We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong.
What about me?
Sleep now.
Swallow dare!
Falcon!
Mega Ray! Reelectrical energy!
Dragon Form!
One at a time!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Phew, what a rush.
be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Do you require a hand?
Rising Wyvern!
Wind accelerated!
Now I'm in
Dragon
the
Swarm!
Confiscated!
Glacial Spear!
Demon Fang! You got flyers!
I've got this!
Not today!
We got the advantage.
Good. All yours. It's over.
Photon ready!
It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say the word.
You're
You're most comfortable at a range, aren't you?
We're not really astral energy! Full throttle!
A comfortable win.
No choice. You're mine! Dragon
Hey,
Swarm!
when did I get so popular?
You're finished!
Where are you going?
This one's mine!
Here I come! Super Swallow Dance!
Sleep
Dragon
now.
Swarm! Rising Wyvern!
Glacial Spear!
Mind freak!
What you doing? Kitara!
Shield.
Frozen!
Hammer!
Do it!
We turned the tables on.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back. Rising Wyvern! This
Do
one.
it! Nice, Law!
Leave it all to law.
Hey, I'm here too, you know.
We're thinning them out!
We, more like me.
I'll admit I'm impressed. Very slightly.
Crash you!
Do it!
We managed to pull through.
No backing down!
Take this!
Arch Seal!
Crumble!
Thunderblade!
Here I
Radiant
come!
Punch!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm on it!
Take it! Hurricane! Mega Ray!
In a bind, Glimmer Dragon!
Annihilation!
You're mine!
Get into the
Dragon!
fray!
Rising Wyvern!
Let's go!
Now in the
Eat
group!
dirt!
Raging
You're
Storm!
mine!
Eagle Assault!
Dragon
Where
Swarm!
are you going?
Do it! Photon!
Huh?
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
So you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Dragon! Come on! Celestial Hammer!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. An opponent like this should be easy.
I'm surrounded!
Not on my watch!
It's over!
Banana, let's go! Shiny
It's over!
Supernova!
Dragon Swarm! Prepare to be sealed!
What's this?
That's my cue!
Take
Well,
this! Shut
someone
him
seems
down!
in tip-top form,
Nothing new about that, Shion.
and still as humble as ever.
Now! Lock! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one.
Already on it!
Hear me!
We're on a roll now!
Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear.
It's over!
Freeze Lancer!
I'm not done!
Oh, now I'm real mad!
Wind Astral Energy! Dance to the
Dragon Swarm!
Sleep now!
Rising
Into the
Wyvern!
fray.
Strike!
Everyone hanging in there?
That equipment should come in handy.
They got me flanked!
It's over!
Swallow dance!
Tempest Swirl! Gemini Aqua! Celestial Arch Seal!
You're mine! Dragon
Quiver
Swarm!
Dragon! Here I go! I'm dragon again!
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
I'll heal you all!
First strike! Ready and rare!
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
So much milk and plates here!
Ready to go!
That's spot!
Start up!
Do it!
Come on! Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danins and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danins rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renins can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renins like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renins!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies! Woo!
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
I mean, do we have to go there just yet?
Not this way, I guess.
Oh, come on. No, let me in. Let me in.
So you're Elfin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
What, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quietly.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danons in this realm, is it not? If
Shut
so,
your
then—
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danons, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Oh. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of the show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. They're the scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Finally.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danon's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of
It's
this
just
realm!
those two.
We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up. Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renan pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadheim.
This isn't Deadheim's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renins as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renins. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
At this point, it probably won't be any different from how the Renins had run it.
I get the feeling Deadheim signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule.
Yeah.
Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danins we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renins here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renins out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danins here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renins just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is... When you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renin lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renins are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danins with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
See, now those are fighting words. Alright. Are they gonna let us...
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
What are we supposed to do again? Rest at the inn. Okay.
What's wrong? All right.
What the?
Hmm?
Hey.
Yeah!
Yeah, okay.
Good.
All right!
not really sure why, but it seems like the microphone is picking up some noise in the background, and I don't know what it is. I don't hear anything other than the usual sounds.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
Hopefully it's nothing that'll be too hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well... I see. Hmm. Oh.
Just great. Excuse me!
Oh no.
Good.
That's some cryptic text, all right.
It could mean anything. Can't we just look around the area for clues or something?
Hey! Maybe these are supposed to be different locations?
Oh, now you're into this too, huh?
I'll do the quiz another time. probably gonna go ahead and mute the microphone for a bit. I'm not really sure what these background sounds are.
Not this way, I guess.
Let's see what's going on around here.
Yeah, there might be someone who could use our help.
Oh, yeah? How's this? Great!
Yes. Hey.
Good.
Really? What? Yes!
All right. Right.
Really?
What?
Huh?
All right.
Yes!
Over there!
Huh? Yes!
All right.
Yes!
Huh.
All right.
By the by, Shion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure. As long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Shion.
I was just joking. Kinda has a nice ring to it, though.